Well, guys, that didn't work. Alright guys, welcome back to Penguin's Garage. We're going to be starting off here. We picked up some 1-inch all thread. This is a 3-foot stick. I got 3 more of them down here. We got washers, nuts, a rubber pad. We have some pre-cut discs. These are probably little 4-inch circles. I have some, well, these are off Amazon, so you know everything's bigger in TV. These are some thrust washers. Probably going to destroy those. But anyways, and we have a whole bunch of 1 by 2 1/8 wall rectangle tubing here. We're going to be trying to make a jack stand, and you guys already know what it looks like based off the thumbnail. I do not know what it's going to look like yet. I got an idea, but I don't have the final product yet. The whole purpose of this is, you know, I'm doing the Tacoma, and I don't know if you can see this. I can wiggle the whole truck. The jack stands are wiggling. I don't want to play that game. I'm not going to be under there with that. So I started looking around, and jack stands that can go about 20 inches. I'm shooting for 18 to 20 inches of ground clearance on this truck. So I have these jacks here rated at 2,500 pounds each, but they don't go low enough. And a lot of jacks like that don't go high enough or low enough. So I'm going to build my own. Now those were $100 each. There are some jack stands out there that twist and go up and down. They call them medium height, and I think they're 18 to 23 inches if I remember right, but they're $200 each. So I have enough material here to make 8 jack stands. The metal that you see was $250. That's including the round discs. These are $7 each, and then the threaded rod, nuts, and washers, that was $150. So hopefully I can get 8 jack stands for the $400 I'm into it. We'll see though. So let's check it out. It's about 100 degrees outside right now. I'm absolutely dripping with sweat, but we're gonna get this done. Let's see what we got to do to it. These are all 36 inches each. I got 4 rods of this. I'm going to cut them all in the half. These fit extremely tight inside of that pipe that has no play in it. I'll be able to have, well, they're 18 inches long. I can go 10 inches and still have 8 inches in the pipe. Tons of security. These are all grade 8, so they'll be able to hand pretty much whatever I throw at them. They are coarse threads, so they might bind up. But we're going to cut our pipe there at 13 inches. At its current configuration, I'll have 16.5 inches by the time I put everything together. But I'll have 17 inches when these fail and I get the other style of a thrust. So that's the plan as of right now. We're going to cut these down, and start putting things together and kind of see what it looks like. I'm only going to build one to begin with and just tack everything together. Then I'm going to build a jig on the table here, and we'll be able to like mass produce this stuff, and then I'll cut tons of legs at the same time and show you guys the easiest way to do that. Okay guys, so 16 inches setting. Even if I go all the way up to 24 inches, I still have, judging by my ruler, that's 4 inches. Tape measure calls it 6.5. So I still got 6.5 inches that's inside the tube. There is no play, like there's almost zero wobble there. So I'm gonna call that a win. I am gonna chop this here though. Current configuration, we have 17 inches at the lowest height that it'll be. At the highest, I'm going to go 26 inches, which is more than I originally wanted, but I still have 6 inches inside the tube, which is great. Now, if I go that high on things, chances are I'm not working on the truck. I'm probably just holding something in the shop. I am going to TIG weld the threads on this, so I'll just kind of TIG into the threads where I want it to stop. That way the nut can't go any further, and that's how I'm going to get it to stop. So on that, what I do is, 6 inches up, which is right here, I'll just weld these, and then I'll grind those smooth, and that'll make it so that that part, this nut can never go past. So that's an automatic stopper. I will be able to slide the whole tube out if I need, and who knows, then I can get new threaded rod and I can make extensions if I want, or who the hell knows, I don't know. But I think I'm gonna do 4 jack stands like this, and then I might do a couple more that are longer. So longer tubes, longer thread, and those will be good for the back of the Tacoma and other things like that are a little higher. But I'm going to be able to get a lot of jack stands out of these, a lot more than I originally thought. So, whee! Okay, let's figure out some legs now. Here's what we got. What I did is I held it near where I wanted, got the base kind of where I thought it might be okay, and then I held it next to the pipe. I drew a line with this flat on the ground. So now you can see I have a little tripod here. Now I'm trying to figure out where to mark the 3 points on this. So I just got my YouTube certification on this. So I watched a YouTube video on how to find 3 points in a circle. Get the outside circumference of the circle, put it in the middle here, like that. Then you come down here where that comes into the bottom, you make a little line there, and then a little line there. Then you go from center to that line, center to that line. There's the guy. His name is Draw Stuff Easily. Credit goes to him. That's my YouTube certification for the day. So now I got a mark there, one here, and one over there. I got this set up with a square. So that's nice and square there. Yeah, that's nice. So this is going to go up. find its neutral point, which is right there. I got a nice gap on the bottom, that's perfect. This gap is perfect, so I'm going to do a spot weld right up at the top. Alright, so here's what we got as of right now. I got 3 legs. They're all sitting on the ground nice. However, they're not perfect measurements. So I got to figure out how to do this again, because I butched it. So I'm gonna probably draw a circle on the table, try and figure some things out, and then go from there. I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm gonna catch you up in a second, but what I did, I'm trying to mass produce this. So I want to do as many of these as I can at once. The way that I'm cutting these is very sketchy on the saw. So I made tack welds on 2 pieces, so I can trace this one piece and cut 2 at the same time, because it's significantly easier than me trying to make this cut and then duplicate that cut. Then I got to do it with the cutoff wheel, and I'm just burning through wheels. So I'm going to do sketchy things once rather than twice. Let's go do sketchy shit. Guys, we got 12 of them made. I'm going to deburr them, and then I'm going to show you the jig that I whipped up. I made a triangle on the table. Each of these are 7 inches from the center. I welded a 2-inch spacer because that's the gap that I want at the bottom of the legs there, just like that. These all are going to line up on those marks. Now I can repeat this. So ready to draw it. Now that's nice and sturdy there. Should be able to bang through these legs real quick now. Take 3 of these. There's one there. One there. And one there. Then right before I tack weld these into place, I check with the square here, this, then I confirm that that's square. Confirm that that's square. And then confirm that this side's square, because I do have a little bit of wiggle room there. So once those are all square, I'm going to tack, tack, tack. And then I'm going to weld it, weld it, weld it, weld it. Now, on the last one, what ended up happening is it got real hot, and I turned the heat down a little because I was getting a little bit of undercut. So I'm going to try and weld this one and see if I can maintain it. The other one, I got to run a flap disc through it to free it up. Full disclosure. But, I mean, this is what I came up with to bang through these pretty quick. And then there's leftover pieces that I'm going to put down at the bottom here and cut it to the angle of the leg and weld them into place down here. I was thinking about going across, you know, kind of chopping them across at the very base, but I don't want to do that. I want these to be able to bite into whatever they're doing. So I'm just going to do a simple little piece right in there. All 3 legs. Just burn them, burn them, burn them. That's going to be more than enough strength for what I'm doing, and I'm going to be very happy with it. I do have to cut a couple more pieces of threaded rod and one more tube. But who cares, eh? Oh, it's me, I'm Mario. Safety. Oh, no. Almost forgot. Gotta clean up the tube. Durr! Take two. Let's not forget anything this time. Always activate your safety squints like that. Now we're going to switch over to our automatic squints. A little heavier duty of a glove here. I like that a little better. No better. That's a lot better heat range. You can see it's about a ½ inch away from it. That one there burned a little longer than I should have. This here, a lot to do with the grinding. You can see the heat penetrating there, right there. So that's what we're looking like right now. I'm gonna bang through the other two real quick, and then yeah, put some little feetsies in it. Cut the rest of the chinguses up here. Show you how to weld that little chingus right there onto it. I think what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to drill a hole in the center, plug weld it, and then weld it around there. I don't know what I'm going to do. Stay tuned. I'll figure it out. Alright guys, let me get you caught up here. I made this jig. Slide one of these plates into it. It gets locked in. See how it's locked in there? It can only go in one way. It can spin, but it can't move. And I grind down the edges of the nuts. And it sits in there like that. And that is perfectly centered. And then I go ahead and burn them. Like that. I picked that up, but I'll burn the living shit out of them too. We got the rest of them right over there. We have 4 jack stands. These are going to be 17 1/4 is what they're ending up at, because I changed my mind on the way this is going to be. So yeah, all of those are done. Got my threaded rod here. This is going to screw into the top of this lid, and that's going to be fixed to this. And then this nut is going to spin, and that's going to pick the whole thing up and down. The reason I did this, almost grabbed it. The reason I did that is so that if I want to change it to a U channel, all I need to do is get more nuts, get a U channel, weld it to it, and then I can use multiple adapters on the same thing. It's pretty fucking smart if you ask me. Yeah, came up with that one all by myself. However, Andrew helped me figure out the best way to do these. So, you know, we drew the triangle on the table, showed you that, the measurements, 777, and then welded this thing in there. So these are very heavy. You can see the welds, the penetration line's about a ½ inch from it, all the way around. I am going to just scuff them real quick because there's a little bit of splatter. But I got all those done. I'm going to go to Harbor Freight tomorrow and buy a Chingus, a 1-inch sand disc that I can flap up and down it a few times, because these don't slide very well. So I do want it to slide in and out very nicely. I like the fact that it's tight, has no movement, but I want it to really feel good. Tomorrow I'm also going to cut the in-betweens that go in here and then get those welded in. Honestly, I think they'd probably work pretty decent the way that they are, but I just want that little extra. I want them to go from good to me good, like really good. So that's where we're at on it right now. A lot of this stuff was just monotonous, like I did one, here's another, here's another. Leaving this on the table so that later on I'm going to do a couple bigger ones, and the bigger ones, I don't know, probably add another 10 inches or so, that's what she said, on top of it. That way I can pick up the back of the truck and level out where the bed is, and just the front of it I can do a couple more there. I got tons of material left. I still have 2 sticks of all thread. Those are 36 inches. I'm cutting these down to 13 inches so I can leave the other ones the full 18 inches. 6 inches up, again, I'm going to weld it so the nut doesn't go any further, and then grind that smooth. That's going to be my stopping point so it doesn't go any further. And that's pretty much it. Guys, so here it is. We got pretty much the finished product. These here are just for support so the legs don't kick out on it. I don't necessarily think it would have, but under extreme loads it may have. So yeah, that's going to be there. We got this here is going to go inside of it. These are going to screw onto the top here like that. I got some rubber plates for the top, and this is going to be my whole assembly. And as far as this goes, I got some Harbor Fruit wrenches. I think I'm just going to keep it like this. I don't necessarily like it when there's rods sticking out because those tend to get in my way. I'll be working on something, I hit my head on it, I catch my arm on it, the welder gets caught on it, whatever the case may be. I like the simple design. Plus, what I'm doing with these, it's going to go into place and I don't need to touch them again. It's not like I'm going to be wrapping up and down on these things. So that's my design, and let's get them finished up here. And we got only 3 more to do. Once I get trussed on all 3 of those, then I'll scuff them all down and then give them some lipstick. Final assemble them. Then we'll put them under the taco and see if we can't get some freaking work done on that thing. So I'm using this jig again, just doubling on it here. Put something in there. So I'm gonna put a nut in there. That way this sticks up a little further. Taking these upside down, dropping them into place. Checking fitment. All those are gonna be nice like. Prep it. Okay, so now surfaces are prepped where it matters. Drop that guy in there. Drop that guy in there. Now we look for perfectness. That's a real word, look it up. Everybody's happy except for one, so we're going to do that one first. Okay, so now they're all even all the way around. Put on our safety squints. Kind of keep checking it as we go here. So I'm going to leave the pliers on there while I do this. That way it doesn't twist or move on me. Alright guys, so I had this Kimball Midwest paint laying around. It's supposed to mimic stainless steel. Everything that I do typically is Rust-Oleum paint. It's either Rust-Oleum black, whatever the color may be, but it's always Rust-Oleum. So we'll see how this holds up. I've been meaning to clean out my cabinet, so it's there. I'm going to use it. Just going to wipe all this stuff down with rubbing alcohol for now. And then take it outside and give her a blast. Alright guys, that looks like dog shit, and although these are Jackstands, there's not a way that I'm going to be okay with the way these look. Like it is, I don't know what's up with that paint. Throw it on heavy for it. It like puts these little floaters out there. Yeah, it just looks terrible. So, I'm going to get more paint. Do this correctly. Okay guys, here they are. Here's the new color, Rust-Oleum blue. These threaded rods are not slipping in very well. So far we have tried this fat ass drill bit right here. This is a 1-inch diameter drill bit. Here's a big extension. I could not get it to go in there straight enough to grab and do what it needed to do. So just for the record, this can only be performed with a Wilfucky drill. All those others just don't have enough power. I don't know that for a fact. And I'm not bashing on Makita because I like Makita. I'm definitely smashing on DeWalt because fuck you. I'll brace it against my hip. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I know, your DeWalt would do it. I know. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Abandon that one. The next step I tried, this hole saw. It's a 1-inch hole saw. It does slide in. I've been at this for a couple minutes now, and I beat on that one, that's stuck in there. I beat on this one, it's stuck in there. I beat on that one, you guessed it, stuck in there. So this one here, I managed to run the hole saw into it, and I got the hole saw down to about the point where the chuck would pick it up, and then couldn't get it in any further. I did take out the pilot drill, there's no point in that. Doesn't have the greatest finish inside of it. I reached out to 3 different machine shops. Nobody wants to take this on, so they can't just run a line bore down it. So I'm kind of on my own here. What I should have done, I should have welded, a couple spot welds, stop it from going. Welded the top, let it cool down for a little while. Welded about 1 inch, let it cool down for a while. Welded 1 inch here, just kind of move around a lot instead of just burning it all in there. But I didn't. So now we get to explore things. So to get this out, I'm like, hey, no problem. Let me use one of the thrust washers and a nut and I'll get it out. And of course I did all this and I thought the GoPro was on, but it wasn't. I don't know if anybody else out there has GoPro issues, but this thing's a pain in my ass. So here's what it looks like. You can see it ain't round anymore. It ate the sides out of it. Completely blew apart this cheap ass bearing. Needless to say, design's not going to work. And as I tossed it on the table, it literally just exploded. So next step. Oh, this is kind of cool. I have the rubber on these. I'm going to put this on the bandsaw. I'm going to cut around it. It's going to look fabulous. It's going to look great. So let me grab the new stuff. Here's the new bearings. Now, I was talking about these bearings in the beginning, thinking that this is the route I would need to go. The ID on these is 1.01 inches. That sounds perfect. It slides over that perfectly. It places itself on there perfectly. These washers, you can see the hole. It doesn't fit right. These have some play, like a lot of play. That does not. So that's how I'm going to get all this stuff apart. Try this. Oh, that's a little better. More better. Well, the bearing's hot. That was very hard the entire way. but it made it. It's a good thing. Guys, that was very challenging to get that out of there. This bearing is hot. It's broken and freed up now. Threaded rod is very hot. I mean, that was a workout. So now I gotta try a couple different things. This is gonna be my guinea pig. This bit no longer fits, and what was happening is it would go in and go crooked. I go crooked. I put about 3 minutes into that and realized very quickly it wasn't going to work. So now that I'm not wearing flip-flops, the other day when I was wearing flip-flops, you see that? I have a new little nubbins on my toe. Apparently you're not supposed to wear flip-flops in the garage. Somebody actually called me out on it when I was welding on the lawnmower video. I do it all too much, so rightfully so. But that person also said that he was welding in Crocs, so whoever you are, Milwaukee 12-inch 3/8 shank, and we're going to get it out of here first. You don't need a vise, but it helps. I don't know if this is going to work or not, guys. I'm kind of running out of options here. Anybody out there has suggestions? I mean, when I release this video, chances are these are going to be working. But if you have suggestions and you're beating your head against the screen right now going, dude, all you need to do is this, please, please throw them in the bottom. Because I'm usually really good at problem solving, but this is kicking the booty out of me. That actually might have worked. Okay, hold on. Oh, did you just see that? That fucking worked. 3 more to do. I'm stoked. Oh. Hey! This was the key. Now, I'm going to go tomorrow, I'm going to buy another hole saw because I pretty much ate all the carbide off the sides, but I roughed this one through it. So what I'm going to do, I'll buy a couple more of these 1-inch ones tomorrow. I'll change it out and then yeah, we'll be styling. Everything should be sliding up and down nicely, and we'll get it underneath the truck, the whole reason we're building it. And on the next set that I build, I'm going to know to only weld a little bit at a time. 6 inches, it gives us all this to play with. I'm going to run a bead across all of these, probably just hold it still, run it around, and then grind it all smooth. That way it stops the threads so that nut here can't go past it. That'll give me a stopping point. Once it's all nice and smooth again, I'll reinsert them into our little newly bored out jack stands here, and everything will be good. Did this in a manner that I wouldn't warp it. Just a little bzzz. That's all it's gonna take. Now I grind those smooth and styling. There it is, guys. Chewed up, galled up. You're not going to be able to get a thread past that. So, one more thing I want to do today. I want to put these on the bandsaw, and I want to trim them out, make them look nice. Alright, guys. There we are. We got them all done. All 4 of them. I was going to use a router at first, but I mean, that bandsaw I'd say did a pretty good job. They're round, rubber. I'm good with that. Here they are. That was quite the fight. So much for a quick project. However, I did learn quite a bit of stuff, and you know, learning makes you faster on the next one. So what I ended up doing is I welded these too hot, too fast, and didn't allow any cooling. I'm definitely open for suggestions, so if you are a professional welder and you know what you're doing, please throw down in the comments. Please throw down in the comments exactly what I did wrong. But my thought is next time I'll just weld here, weld a couple tacks in the bottom, let it cool for a bit, weld an inch, go to another one, weld an inch, weld an inch, weld an inch, come over here, weld an inch in the back, weld an inch in the back, and just move around a lot. I'm not going to get these big sexy beads, but I really don't care either. I do have a lot of welding coming up on the Toyota, so anybody that can tell me exactly what it is that I did wrong there would be killer. But like I said, as far as I'm aware, I just went too hot too fast, and when I'm welding the frame on the Toyota, I'm going to end up having to do sections, maybe 4 inches on, 4 inches off type of thing. But anyways, back to these. All I do now is I twist this nut, these guys go up. They are not moving. When they are all the way up in their full stance, they have zero movement to them. I mean, you can't even get it to go tung, 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 tung. Nothing. So once I screwed that up, we used the line bore, I mean the hole saw, on an extension. I ran it at very high speeds, just real slow, and you could feel it catching up every once in a while, particularly right in this area at the bottom of the welds. Then it would catch again down here. But that seemed to be the ticket. Now don't get me wrong, I can't just pick this up and it come out. Like, I have to yank it, but I don't really care about that. What I care about is the tightness. These are going to be used primarily underneath the Toyota. These jack stands are just shit. These are designed to be underneath the vehicle when you're doing brakes and little basic stuff to it. I'm not going to be cutting, hammering, welding. No thanks. So that's what these were made for. Is it $400 worth of material? Had I not warped this tube, I would have been a lot happier. However, it's the first time I ever did it. I learned what not to do, I learned what to do, I learned how to overcome it. So am I upset about it? No, not at all. And I still have this pile of material over here. There's 2 threaded rods, there's 4.5 tubes, and plenty of rectangle. So I got other chances at this thing, so I'm not upset. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave some notes down below and in the old commento section, and tell me how to stop from warping the ID of these tubes. Hope you got something out of this. Hope you you know, if you guys are in the same boat as I am and you needed something much heavier duty and something that had infinite adjustment on it, I hope this helps you guys. All in all, I'd say I probably have maybe $200 worth of material wrapped up in these, maybe 180-ish. I don't know, somewhere around there. It's hard to divide everything up, but I like them. They're super smooth to use, like 2-finger operation. I'm very ecstatic with that. So like and subscribe. Catch you guys on the next one. Thanks.